Welcome to VBA page. This is a new tutorial by Muhammad Titi in Visual Studio Microsoft Visual Basic 2010. Today I'm going to show you how to export and link between Visual Basic 2010 or Visual Basic VB.NET environment and the Excel files and the Excel applications. Actually, I have demonstrated some concepts before this lesson, and before I do this, I'm gonna just provide some topics that I have just illustrated before. This is a small contact book database system that uses VB.NET to create new records and delete records, update records, and so on, these, and search in the database. It links between the Visual Basic 2010 and the Microsoft Access 2007. Now in this system today I'm gonna show you how to link between this system and to export all the data that you have in your database system to an Excel file so you can provide it for further uses. Let's have a button like this, Excel or export to Excel file, in which I have the code. This code is private sub. This is a click event. Here we can declare a Microsoft Office interop excel.application. This is the interfacing. This is the interface. Microsoft Office interop Excel is the interface between that we are going to use between the Visual Basic 2010 and the Excel sheets. Actually, I can provide this interface by going to Project and click on Address References. Go to component name and search for Excel or Microsoft Object Excel with any number I can find. It will be displayed in this box. Microsoft Excel. Yes, this is it. Microsoft Excel 12 object library or Microsoft Excel 5 object library, etc. I have just imported one, and we can also provide the reference from here, from this window. We go to imported namespaces. We import the namespace of what? We import the namespace of Microsoft Visual Basic interop Excel. Okay. No. Sorry. Now we just gonna go to explain the code. Here we can declare an interfacing object, a new Microsoft Office interop Excel application, workbook as Microsoft Office interop Excel.workbook, sheet as Microsoft Office interop Excel worksheet. These objects are to interface between the Visual Basic and the Excel application. Here I have a path string, the path of the file where I'm gonna save the file, the Excel file that I'm gonna fit or fill with my data. So the procedure is like this. I'm gonna import all the data from the database, all the contacts and their data, and I'm gonna copy them to the Excel sheet that I'm gonna provide by this interface, and then save the file to this path. This path can be filled or assigned to a dialog save component. This component is for example like this component. If I provided some data here and click save as, this is a save as dialog box or a save as dialog screen. So this can be implemented in VB. This can be implemented in VB 2010 by going to Form and add a dialog save from Toolbox. Go to Toolbox and just scroll to find dialog, save file dialog. I've just already choose one, and I renamed it to diag save. Okay, so I'm gonna first show the dialog box or the dialog screen or the dialog window. Then I'm gonna provide the path by dialog save.file name, in which the whole path, the full path will be stored in this string object. Now, after saving this, I'm gonna to create a new application object, create object with name excel.application. So this function provides or creates a new Excel object that will be opened or started or launched in a different thread rather than in which you are working. So it will be a different program, a new program, an Excel application. And the workbook is the Excel object.workbox.add. I'm gonna add a new workbook to my Excel object that I've just created, and I'm gonna activate the first sheet, workbook.activate sheet, sheets.activate. Then I'm gonna choose some range. Here I'm gonna start to modify the sheet. For my specific purposes in this system that I'm gonna show you later, I have to provide these the addresses of and some data. I have to provide some manipulation to my Excel sheet. For example, I'm gonna put a range from cell A1 to cell F1. These are 6 cells: A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, and F1. These cells have to be bold, font, and borders weight 2 as I want, and the column width is 30 pixel and width. Now I'm gonna put a title of the first cell. It is a first name title, so all the first names of the contact shall go below this cell in this column 1. Last name, so the cell number 1, 2, which is A2, should have the cell A2 should have all the last names of the contact, all the phone numbers of the contact, all the mobile numbers of contact, all the email addresses of the contact. Actually, to generally understand the purposes of this system, you can refer to the previous video on this channel. Okay, so these are some manipulations on the cells. Now I have just created a new user control, which is my progress bar dot new progress. This is a user control that I have just provided. It's simple. It is a progress bar component. It is simply, you can say, an ActiveX component that is user created by me. It has a title property. It has how much rows copied, and the progress bar here. It has some functions and properties that I have implemented, and a new constructor. I'm not gonna show you or explain any of these now. Anyways, it's just for illustrating the concept. Now I'm gonna use a progress bar to show the user that the copy process is in progress. The maximum, this is a property of the progress bar that I've just created. The maximum value is the number of rows in the database that I'm gonna to copy, and I will set the title copy to Excel. It's just a string property. Then I'm gonna show the progress bar. Now I define a new variable, data row. It's an integer, goes from 1 to contact view.rows.count, which is the number of rows in my database that will be shown in this data grid view. Its name is contact view. I've renamed it as contact view. So .rows.count are the count of rows in my database. It's the maximum value of the progress bar. Anyways, show, okay, here from 1 to all the contacts, just increase, call the increase method of my progress bar component. It will increase each time it copies one cell. It will increase the progress bar value. Now for data column from 0 to 4, from 0 to 4 actually they are 5 columns. I'm gonna use column, the first name, the last name, the phone number, the mobile number, and the email address. So they are 5 columns. Sheet.cells. Now I'm gonna enter each cell by its row index and column index. The row index of the first cell should be not 1, it's data row. The first one is data row, will be 1, plus 1 will be 2. 2, and the column 0, the first column is 0, plus 1 will be, the cell will be 2, 1. Because the cell 1 and 1 is already first name. It's already filled. So it's the turn for the cell 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. And 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 2, and so on. Each value of the previous mentioned cell should equal the data set, the table, dot rows, dot draw, data row minus 1, dot item, dot data column plus 1. So you go in the contact table in your data set. This is copied from the database. You can watch the previous video to know what do I mean by these words or these statements. Contact is my table in the contact database, and rows data, this is the number of rows, this is the number of items. So each cell will be copied by itself. After I copy all the cells, I'm gonna save it as the path of Excel that I have just provided by the file save dialog here. Then I'm gonna check it as saved and close the workbook and quit the object, Excel object. Then release all resources, release all objects, disposing all objects that I've just created. So let's try the project. Never mind about this screen, it is my enter screen. You have to provide username and password. Okay, so this is the system, this is the database, and here I can provide some processes like adding new record, etc. These are the data, and here is the export to Excel file button. I'm gonna click it. As you can see here, save as screen is showed up. I'm gonna choose, for example, a position or a location for the file to be copied. So to, for example, C++, this. Okay. I'm gonna save it as VBA Excel 1. Save. So as you can see here, the progress bars showed up and 32 rows were copied. If I release the resources or canceled my program or my project and go to the specified location, I'm gonna find this Excel sheet. If I open it, I'm gonna find all my data: first name, last name, phone number, mobile, email address, with all the properties that I've just modified, and all the data are here. As you can see here, 33 rows minus the first row that is not a data, it's a manipulation, equals 32 rows. Pretty simple. That's it. See you in a new tutorial on VB.net. Bye.